Hello, good morning everyone. So today we are going to the next chapter, which is the marketing needs place. So what is place? So after deciding on the product, its price and the best way to promote it, the business has to actually sell the product to the customer. Then the product or service must be available where and when customer want to buy it. So where to buy the product? That's the main concern. So we are still using the same example, Nescafe coffee. Okay. Then compared to Starbucks, could you get Starbucks in this mama place? Is it a suitable place? So would expensive Starbucks sell well in the local shop where you buy food? Okay, based on the environment, your expectations, and then the people who would visit more oftenly in the Mamak usually are not willing to pay for Starbucks price. So Nescafe selling place is the best in this environment. So we must choose the right place for the right product with the right price. So what is distribution channel? A distribution channel is the means by which a product is passed from the place of production to the customer. So there are 4 channels in total. Let's see what are those. Number 1, when producer directly sell the product to the consumers. Number 2, if they're using a retailer as the only intermediary in this distribution the products. Number 3, using a wholesaler and retailer as intermediaries to deliver the product to the consumer. And lastly, involving an agent to deliver the product before passing it to wholesaler, retailer, and lastly to consumers. So we are using Nescafe as an example. So let's have a look. What does it mean by producer and the Nestle coffee factory in Switzerland? So you know Nescafe is from Switzerland, right? Might not be produced in Switzerland, otherwise it will be too expensive. So the rest we are just using Nescafe as an example. So how would it work? How would it work if Nescafe is using distribution channel 1, which is direct to consumers? What are the advantages to Nescafe? Number 1, this is the most simple way, is the simplest way. It involves manufacturers selling their product directly to the customer. Okay, it's suitable for certain type of products Okay, especially if the fresh food, they're directly sold from the farm to the consumers. The price will be lower if sold directly to consumers because it's cut out the wholesaler and retailer. And lastly, the products can be sold by either mail order catalog or via the internet. So it's quite simple, cost effective, and possible. Then what are the disadvantages? It could be quite impractical if most products, because the consumers probably do not live near to the factory and could not go there to buy the products. So even with delivery, it might not be suitable because it's expensive to deliver, and some of the products are not suitable to be delivered and sent by post, especially if they are far from the customers, and it might spoiled. It may become spoiled very fast. Okay, this method is also common when selling directly from one manufacturer to another manufacturer. For example, the manufacturer of car components, car tire, selling directly to the car producer. Distribution channel 2, using a retailer as the only intermediary. The advantages, for example, one of the famous intermediary in Malaysia is called 99 Speed Mart. So the advantages to the producer Nescafe to use compared to channel 1, of course, Nescafe can now sell large quantities, then they reduce the distribution cost to each customer directly. Then compared to channel 1, however, that in this case the Nescafe, the producer, will not have the direct contact with the consumers, and then the price is often higher. Distribution channel number 3, using a wholesaler and a retailer as intermediaries. So wholesaler size is definitely bigger than the retailer. They have a very big warehouse. They are able to buy the products in bulk from the producer. So what is breaking bulk? Breaking bulk is where wholesalers buy products from manufacturers in large quantities and then divide up the inventory into much smaller quantities for retailers to buy. Of course, Speed Mart is a very big retailer, but let's say the bigger wholesaler are willing to distribute the products to 99 Speed Mart. So what would be the advantages as a wholesaler to producer compared to channel 1 and 2? In this case, Nescafe, the producer, will be able to sell even larger quantities to the wholesaler, reducing distribution costs without selling individually to the consumers and the retailers. At the same time, get feedback on which types of coffees are more popular in demand, that they could focus on producing or improving their products. The advantages of a wholesaler to a retailer, it could help the smaller retailer to save storage costs by saving the storage space, distributing smaller amount to the retailers. Then if the products are fresh product, they could be purchased in a smaller quantities. That will help to keep the quality of the product. Receive credits from wholesaler. Credit means the wholesaler could give a date of payment upon buying or ordering products from the wholesaler, so they can take the goods straight away and pay at a later date. Save delivery costs. Some wholesalers are willing to bear the delivery cost to the retailers, and of course get advice on popular demand products from the wholesaler. What are the disadvantages of having a wholesaler in the distribution channel? The disadvantages of the wholesaler to retailer, it could be more expensive than buying the product directly from the producer, because wholesaler also has cost and need to make a profit from selling the product. A limited range of products, not necessarily having all range, 3-in-1, 4-in-1, 5-in-1, all produced by Nescafe, but only maybe some limited choices. It might take longer delivery time for fresh products, so it could not ensure the quality of the fresh products directly from the producer than to the wholesaler. Lastly, wholesaler might be a little bit far away from the retailer, so it still have a long distance. It costs to have a higher buying cost. Then what would be the disadvantage to a consumer compared to buying goods directly from the retailer without the wholesaler? Okay, the disadvantage from the having a wholesaler to customer is the products might be ending up with a higher consumer price after covering costs and making profit for the wholesaler and retailer. So what are the advantages to the producer of having an agent in the distribution channel? The producer would know the best way to sell the product with the help of the agent, okay, in other markets, to know whether, okay, what are the demand and the favorite products in the other countries. And of course, the agents are more aware of local conditions, who know who are the trustworthy wholesaler and retailer in distributing the product and which are the most effective place to sell the products. However, okay, the disadvantage to the producer would be now the producer might have less control over the product, especially the way the product is sold to customers. So the agent could be in charge and become the decision maker in terms of distributing the product into the market. That's the end. Bye.